Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This tutorial is about how to go from this to this in a matter of like 2 hours. The first step is preparing your lips with Carmex. Second, I go on to my eyebrows. I just fill them in really quickly. I don't do anything too special, and there is actually a tutorial on my channel if you would like to check it out and see exactly how I fill in my eyebrows. So to carve out my eyebrows, I used the NYX brow pomade in medium brown, and then I carve it out with my e.l.f. color correcting concealer in corrective yellow. That's a tad light for my skin, especially now since I'm tan, but I blend it out pretty well, so hopefully you can't tell. And then the next is eyelid primer, and I'm using the Ardell eyelid primer, I believe. And I like this one because it's pigmented, so it covers up all the veins that I have in my eyebrows. And then next is the NYX eyeshadow base, and then I just set that in with some translucent powder. So for the eyes, I'm using my Too Faced palette, and I'm using, I think it was Marzipan in the crease just as a transition shade, and I'll list all of the actual shades in the description box. And then I go in with the lighter brown in the crease again, just to deepen it up. I deepen it up slowly. I like to do it gradually rather than just putting on a dark pigment right at first, because it's easier to blend it out and make it look a little bit more, I guess, natural, but more blended is key. And then I'll go in with a tiny brush and deepen up that crease even more with that darkest brown in the palette and blend until you can't see the harsh line anymore. I'm winging it out a little bit because I know I'm going to do a really strong wing. I mean, it's Nicki Minaj. She is all about that wing. So I wanted to lengthen out my eyelid a little bit more rather than having it stop right at the end of my eye. I winged it out towards the end of my eyebrow, and it goes better with that winged liner. And here I'm just mapping out my winged liner where I want it to be with a little bit of concealer and just a brush. I'm trying to get the angle right. I wanted it to go from the end of my eye to the end of my eyebrow, and then I just create the liner. This is the most stressful part, guys. I don't think I breathed for a good 20 minutes trying to do this because it was just so stressful. I don't know how Nicki does this every day. But I'm just using the NYC liquid eyeliner. It would probably be easier to use a gel liner with this and a brush, but I didn't have any and I was not about to go to the store. So I'm just using the NYC liquid liner, and I really love this liner. I mean, it glides on really easily. The application is great, and it's dark. And it's really cheap. It's like $2. I mean, I buy this in bulk. It's my favorite eyeliner ever. So I'm just building up the wings slowly. I wanted to do it thin at first because you get less mistakes that way if you go very slowly. When I finally get the thickness, I lengthen out the wing a little bit more to where I want it to be. And after the wings are done, I tightline before putting on my fake eyelashes. And the fake eyelashes, I stacked the M.U.A natural lashes with the Ardell natural lashes because both of them by themselves weren't dramatic enough. So I liked actually stacking them up together, and I stacked the Ardell ones on the kind of end of the M.U.A ones because it gave it more of a flinged out effect, more of a winged effect. And onto the face, I'm just moisturizing my skin with the Pond's moisturizer that I got from Walmart, and then I'm priming my face with the Milani face primer. And I'm gonna conceal my dark circles and my many pimples that have decided to surface for some reason recently with the Maybelline concealer, and then just dab away with my Real Techniques blending sponge. And there goes most of the redness in my face. My skin has been really awful lately for some reason. It's just not been working for me, and I don't know why, but good thing there's makeup. Now on to my favorite part, the foundation. I'm using my Milani Concealer Plus Foundation, and I think this just came out. I just got it, and it is seriously amazing. I love the coverage that it gives, and it's completely full coverage. You don't have to build it up. One pump is more than enough, and it covers almost all of the dark spots or pimples that I have, and color corrects as well. I mean, it's just like an all-in-one foundation, and I don't have to conceal as much with it. Milani is my favorite drugstore brand of all time. Their prices are unbeatable, and their quality is unbeatable from a drugstore brand, and I would completely recommend their product anytime. So after the foundation, I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight with my Maybelline concealer stick in, I think, 220, and I'm just trying to cover up my bags a little bit more and highlight my face, kind of give it more of a chiseled look, elongate my face a little bit by adding highlight to my chin and to my nose and my forehead, trying to bring out all the high points and make my face look a little bit more slender. So that's what I'm also going to do by drawing the line from my lip towards my cheekbone. I'm trying to create a more slender look, so when I do add my contour, it's actually going to be a little bit more sharp. I contoured with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation stick, and it was just a few shades darker than my skin tone. That's what I use to contour when I use cream contour. And of course, I'm just going to blend everything out. And I'm using these dupes that I got on Groupon. They're like the artisan brushes that a lot of people have now. And of course, I was not about to spend hundreds of dollars on brushes. So I got them on Groupon for about $35. And they're okay. I mean, the brush itself is fine. And it's soft. It's pretty easy to blend with them. The only issue is the stems are pretty brittle. So if you don't like hold on to the base, I can feel like the brush is going to snap eventually, just because the stem is not very sturdy at all. So that's the only issue with this. But if you're looking for a cheap dupe for the expensive brushes that are out there, these are definitely a good choice, I think. So I'm just going to blend my contour out, and then I go back in with the same brush I used for foundation just to blend it out so that I don't have too harsh of a line. Even though I'm going for a stronger contour this time, I still don't want it to be like a line on my face. So I just be sure to blend everything out. And then after I blend with the cream contour, I go back in and set it with the powder. So I'm using the NYX contour palette that I got from CVS, which was a great buy as well. And I'm using my smaller powder brush just to deepen it up. I'm using the darker shade with that smaller brush. And I'm going to use the darker shade like more towards the end of the contour. And then I'm going to use the lighter shade with this brush towards the outer ends of the contour to blend it out into the foundation. So I want it to be a little bit darker and a little bit more harsh, like underneath the cheekbones, towards the hairline, just to blend it out, make it look like it blends gradually. And then after that, I set my under eye and highlight with my translucent powder and my Real Technique sponge. And I'm just gonna bake my face for a little bit. I bake it for about like a minute because I'm impatient and I don't feel like waiting any longer than that. And then after I bake, I just take my really big fluffy brush that I got from Rite Aid, which is my favorite brush because it's super soft and it's perfect for just dusting away everything. And I use it with a little bit of the Sephora setting powder in yellow, just so that I bring a little bit more color back to my face so I don't look ashy or washed out. And then onto blush, I kept it real pink with this new Milani blush that I got, which is gorgeous because it looks like a rose and it's so pretty. And I wanted it to be really dramatic and pink because that's Nicki Minaj, of course, or at least it was a few years ago. And then, of course, bright pink lipstick. I chose the most obnoxious pink that I had in my collection, and this is from NYX. And then I just line it with a little bit of the ColourPop pink liner. I'll put the name of it in the description box. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye!